What's poppin' North Idaho and what is good rest of the world? It's your man Tyler C. And this is Uncle Tyler in the morning. Yo, what is going on North Idaho? What's good everybody else? Hope everybody's having a good Friday. It is the end of the work week, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have made it. We are here. It is time for the weekend. It's actually not time for the weekend. Every Friday people say you have made it, but it is not until you get off work, if it's your weekend, that you really get to embrace the fact that the weekend is here. Looking at the weekend, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. Looking at the week's end, I should say, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. Let's hop into this weather real quick. I'm going to pre-warn y'all and say today's show is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. We got to make sure we get all the things out, but we got some things to do later on this morning, and I want to make sure that I honor my wonderful and beautiful wife's time. So let's hop into this weather today around 8 o'clock when this will hopefully come out. Actually, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock when the show comes out as a podcast. For those of you who are watching on Instagram or Facebook or our YouTube channel under the Community Experiment, you will know that, or maybe you don't know, this is a podcast that we do every day. Y'all are just seeing it live. Y'all getting a live broadcast. So let's hop into this weather. Around 8 o'clock, it's going to be 48 degrees and sunny. Around 10 o'clock, it's going to be, 53 degrees and sunny. Around 12 o'clock, it's going to be 58 degrees and partly cloudy. Then from let's say about 12 to 2, maybe 3, it'll be partly cloudy. A lot of clouds in the sky, be about 52 degrees. Then around 4, 5 o'clock, it's going to hit the high of 63. And sunny. So it looks like it's going to be sunny, partly cloudy most of the day. The height of the wind is going to be like 7 miles per hour. So it looks like it's going to be dope, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very excited about today. I personally have Fridays off, which means that I just do a lot of other stuff that I could and should probably be doing on the Saturday and Sunday. Actually, that's not true. What Friday looks like for me is I have the day off, but I usually don't take it off because I have 13 other things going on. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? You got to hustle. Speaking of hustling, later on in the show, we're going to talk about a book that I'm reading about hustling harder and hustling smarter. But before we jump into that, let's jump into the National Day. Today is May 1st, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it crazy that it's May? Man, where in the world did that come from, y'all? Today's May 1st, and it is National Law Day. It says on nationaldaycalendar.com, it says the United States observes Law Day annually on May the 1st. This day encourages all Americans to reflect on the personal rights and liberties which are enjoyed and exercised daily, which is dope in theory. It says the laws and courts uphold these same rights and freedoms daily. The observance promotes reflection on the role of law in the foundation of the country and recognizes its importance in society. I agree. You know what I'm saying? We all got rights out here, right? Which is interesting if you or a Christian and such, because then, you know what I'm saying, I guess you have rights still under God, but do you? It's always an interesting line between Christianity and the laws of the land and such like this. And then people using Christianity to stay true to the laws of the land. It was just a weird thing. It's a weird thing. I feel like we've been talking about politics a little bit on this show today. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it real quick is because I saw in Michigan where groups of people, and we've seen this around a lot. It's not just Michigan. It's not just one area of the country. What we are seeing is armed people protesting and making sure that their rights are not being infringed on. And now I understand. It's just, and I have no like political view, or I have not a whole lot to say about the matter. All I see is armed civilians. In this case, they went to the Capitol in Michigan, the state capitol, and they protested, which, hey, we have the right to protest. You know what I'm saying? We have the right to be armed. I just think about that in like, man, it's weird. It's not weird that they're protesting. It's just weird that you can have different types of protests and the hostility that comes with different types of protests. We talked about it before, armed protest versus Colin Kaepernick's protest, or an armed protest versus the civil rights protest, or an armed protest versus, and it's not versus, in comparison to, or paralleled with, I should say, a LGBTQIA protest. It's just interesting to see. And at the end of the day, where do we get with protesting? It's your right. It's your right. But I always just question what happens at the end of the day. I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of politics, ladies and gentlemen, did you all see Puff Daddy's remarks about the black vote? Or I should say his vote specifically. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it was yesterday on Naomi Campbell's little show she has. It's called No Filter with Naomi Campbell. Shout out to Naomi Campbell and Puff Daddy. If y'all ever in Coeur d'Alene, come holla at me. Come on the show. Come say what's up. On her show yesterday, Puff Daddy was very clear about his vote and what any candidate would have to do to get his vote. Let's play the audio real quick and see what you all think. Hold on just a second. Let's go.
The black vote is not going to be for free. We're going to have to see some promises. What are we getting in return for our vote? Nothing has changed for Black America. And in order for us to vote for Biden, we can't be taken for granted like we always are because we're supposed to be Democrats or because people are afraid of Trump. It's whoever's going to take care of our community, whoever wants to make a deal. It's business at this point. We can't trust politicians, so we want to know very clearly, just like Trump made it clear that he wanted to build a wall, Biden needs to make it clear that he's going to change the lives and quality of life of Black and brown people, or else he can't get the vote. All
right, Shar, if you are on Facebook or Instagram Live, you did not hear that clip. But what he basically is saying is that this is a business arrangement at this point. Over on Facebook, Rebecca Schroeder, I apologize if I'm not saying your name right, Rebecca. Speaking to our last segment a little bit, she said, what would happen if the armed militia protesters in Michigan were not white? I would say that if I don't want to make an assumption. I'll say based on history, because I don't know what would happen in that case, Rebecca. But based on history, man, when you see police interaction with people who are Black and brown or who are not the majority protesting, things we're in a weird day and age now too, though. I actually think that because of how heightened the world is right now, I don't think anything would happen. Which speaks to, this is why it's dangerous and it's a slippery slope, because I think the police wouldn't do anything. But I think that if you had a situation where you had one protest that was armed and then another anti-protest that was armed, I think that's where it can get really dangerous. I think law enforcement agencies right now and even the government right now are in such a not standstill, but they're in such a weird position where they can't be viewed as one thing. They can't be viewed as taking a side, quote unquote. And they can't be viewed as the bad person. They don't want to be viewed as the bad person. And so I feel as though if a group of Black folks did that, let's say for example, a group of black folks did that in North Idaho. I don't think anything would happen. I think that there is such a awareness of people's right to protest and people's right to bear arms. I don't think anything would happen. I think the issue would come on either side. That's my personal opinion. Now, when we look at this Diddy situation, you see that you have, and this is, I'm gonna jump out the window a little bit, and I'm gonna say, when Donald Trump got elected, and again, this is not a political show, so I apologize for those who didn't come from politics. When Donald Trump, before he got elected, I said to my father-in-law, Donald Trump is gonna win. I called it. I don't support Donald Trump in any way. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. But I called it. I said Donald Trump is gonna win because of the people that he's targeting. Here's my next prediction, ladies and gentlemen. When I listened to Sean Diddy Combs talk about the vote being a business arrangement, here's my prediction. This is Uncle Tyler in the Morning's prediction. What's going to happen is people are tired of Joe Biden. I shouldn't say people. Black folks. I shouldn't even say black folks. Capitalistic black folks. I don't know if that's a word. The black elite don't want nothing to do with Joe Biden. You know who's gonna, if Joe Biden wins, you know who's gonna get him in there? Middle age or retired black women. That's who's gonna get him in there. But I don't think that's what's gonna happen though. Here's my prediction, ladies and gentlemen. My prediction is Donald Trump is going to hear P. Diddy say that it's a business arrangement. He's going to come with a black agenda that actually meets the needs of the black and brown communities. He's going to apologize. That's the only stretch that I have. I could see him pulling back on even immigration. I could in his black and brown agenda, I could see him making an easier process to kind of like bridge the gap of the crazy wild stuff that he said. I don't think he's going to apologize. He might. I don't think he's going to apologize, but I could see him in some way bridging, because listen, in the same way that he already has some black voters, he has some of the Latinx voters as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing that there. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That's my, you heard it here first. That's my prediction. Donald Trump is going to see, I shouldn't say Donald Trump. Donald Trump's people are going to see what Diddy says. They're going to understand it's a business relationship, and you are going to see the black elite turn into Republicans again, the way that it was after slavery. I don't think he would ever apologize, said Brian. Hey, listen. I didn't think I knew he was going to be president when he ran. A lot of people didn't think he was going to be president, but he has people around him that will say, hey man, all you have to do is this. And it's not really an apology. I'm telling you, this whole second, listen, he gonna throw an alley-oop. Diddy just threw him an oop. Actually, what he's going to do is he's going to take the ball and then rain it back. Then he's going to do a 360 in the air and do a backwards dunk, and nobody's going to see it coming. I'm calling it. Y'all saw it's on wax. Y'all saw it on video. I'm calling that. Donald Trump is he's going to do some form of apology. He's going to present a black and brown agenda that encompasses everybody, and he's going to win because he's going to speak to lower class white folks, lower class white folks who want to seem like the elite white folks who have been Republican forever, Christians, black and brown people who are Christians, and black and brown elite. That is how he's going to win 2020. I'm throwing it out there. Believe me if you don't. I don't know who I personally am going to vote for. It probably won't be Joe Biden based on the amount of black and brown people that he's put in jail. Hey. Tanner on Instagram said he's a finesse. He is a finesse, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll be right back, right here on Uncle Tyler in the Morning. Uncle Tyler in the Morning is a community experiment production. Support from viewers like you make this content possible. To become a Patreon supporter, visit us at communityexperiment.com/squad. All right, y'all, we are back on Uncle Tyler in the Morning. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I thought about today? or actually last night when I was getting ready for the show, one thing that I didn't think about previously to last night was the Kentucky Derby, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, this week, I'm from Kentucky. I'm from Louisville. I was born and bred in the area, you know what I'm saying? And so the Kentucky Derby was always a big thing. But this year with the coronavirus going on, listen, I hadn't even thought about it, ladies and gentlemen. Hadn't thought once about it. But it looks like the Derby, and the reason why I'm thinking about it now is because this year I wanted to do a Derby party here in Coeur d'Alene, you know what I'm saying? Bring the Derby little day party to Coeur d'Alene, you know what I'm saying? Get it popping. Can't do it right now because of the whole coronavirus thing. But ladies and gentlemen, maybe we'll bring it back because just like we want to do, the Kentucky Derby will be ran. According to KentuckyDerby.com, it's just going to be ran in September. It says, oh snap! Listen, I didn't realize. I don't know why I didn't realize this, but the Kentucky Derby. I should read this. It says the 146th Kentucky Derby presented by Woodford Reserves. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Woodford. And if you're not from Kentucky, then maybe you don't know, but that's that liquor. The 146th Kentucky Derby presented by Woodford Reserves will be rescheduled from May 2nd to 2020 to September 5th, 2020, and the 146th Longings Kentucky Oaks will be rescheduled from the 1st to the 4th. So they're going to listen. And the reason why I bring that up is because I would love to bring some of that stuff to beautiful North Idaho. Like I would love to have a day party here in town. I feel like that would be dope. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though I want to do more of that stuff, period. Just little day parties here and there. You know what I'm saying? Especially out here in Post Falls. You know we keep it lit in the North. Come on, man. Come on. But I'm excited. I love the Oaks. I love Derby. I didn't love it when I lived in Louisville, though, because I felt like people I would meet who weren't from Louisville would only talk about the Derby when they talked about Louisville. And there are so many other amazing things going on in Louisville that people don't talk about. Now that I don't live there, I love it to death. I love the idea of sharing that experience with other people, because Derby is literally like the entire city explodes in Louisville, ladies and gentlemen. I would say I've never been to Mardi Gras, but I would say that it's like a Mardi Gras type of experience. The entire city is partying. You know what I mean? I just looked at this window and I remembered, Brian, this one's for you. I remembered I haven't seen those pheasants in quite some time. Random side note. But I'm excited. Listen, come September, look out for the community experiment for the North doing little day parties to celebrate Derby, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate Derby. Speaking of parties and speaking of celebrations, ladies and gentlemen, did you all see that Anderson Cooper has a son now? What? Shout out to Anderson Cooper, who's now a father. Good for you, good sir. It's interesting though, because his father is his father. His son, and I say this respectfully, I feel like Anderson Cooper's son has the most stereotypical white name on the planet. That young man's name is Wyatt Morgan Cooper. Not a bad thing. This is just me commenting. One, I'm happy for Anderson Cooper that he has a little baby boy. Shouts to him. The USA Today has an article out about it, and it shows Anderson Cooper just holding his little son in his arms. Cool, good for you, Anderson Cooper, man. That's so cool. He's feeding him. Oh, that's tight, man. Good for Anderson Cooper. And one of the reasons why I bring this up is because the other day, Rob, I posted a video of a baby dancing. Babies, I feel like babies just bring so much joy to people's life. You know what I mean? And why, those are the things that I would like to focus on right now. There's all this political stuff going on, and you got to focus on some of that a little bit, because you want those babies to have the best possible life that you could afford to them if you're a parent, or if you're a part of the community who cares about the young ones, who cares about children being raised up. But there's something about just watching a baby smile or watching a baby dance that just makes your day a little bit brighter, right? Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. but I love babies. One of the main reasons why I love babies as an uncle is because when I look at a baby, I say to myself, little baby, I just want you to know something. Everybody else is saying to you, goo goo gaga, oh hey little bruh, I'm gonna talk to you, little baby bruh, as if you're a grown man. Little baby sis, I'm gonna talk to you as if you're a grown woman, because I want you to realize that Uncle Tyler is not here for the fun and games. Uncle Tyler is here to keep it real with you. Now, you might only be 3. My little nephew Bucky, he's turning 1 for the first time in this next Monday. The homie Cal told me. Listen, Bucky, he knows. He's what? Almost 12 months, and he knows. I'll punch him square in his face. Yes, I did just say I'll punch a baby square in his face. Corey Kuhayana just came on here. Corey's kids know Uncle Tyler don't play. Listen, and that's why the community experiment exists. We need to teach these kids how to keep it real. A lot of people's out here trying to stunt on people. A lot of people's out here driving around in rented cars. A lot of people getting babies' faces and go, goo goo gaga. Nah, Uncle Tyler keeps it real. Corey, let him know on Instagram Live. I will punch a child in the face if they talk crazy to Uncle Tyler. That's not true. Ashley always tells me I got to calm down. I know she's probably in the background right now. She always says you got to calm down saying that you're going to punch people's kids in the face. It's not funny. You're right. It's not funny. But neither is coddling these little kids. You know what's wrong with most of America? People get coddled from the time that they are infants to the time that they are in their 30s and 40s. And then we trying to figure out why everybody needs assistance from the government. Nah, if you teach these kids how to keep it real when they're kids, then they'll understand how to keep it real when they're adults. And they'll be able to pay their own real bills. They'll be able to pay their own real rent. They'll be able to go to their own real college because they've been thinking about these things. I've been keeping it real with my nephew Quaylen from Jump Street, ladies and gentlemen. Since that boy was like a hot 9 years old, we've been talking about budgets. We've been talking about how you gonna pay for college. We've been talking about how you gonna start your own business. Oh, Uncle Tyler, I wanna have a barbershop. Cool, little bruh. Since you want to have a barbershop, what we're going to do is we're going to put you around people who have businesses. Not only that, I'm going to teach you how to do an invoice. Listen, I wasn't in a position where my pops was in the position to pay me for good grades. 2, I ain't make good grades. I'm gonna keep it 100% with you. Rodney Bowen on Facebook Live says, you right, bro. I feel that. Listen, Rodney, you knew how I was when we was in high school and middle school at Crosby and at Eastern. Y'all know I ain't make good grades, but my nephew Quay, he does make good grades. Because of that, I have said, Quaylen, for every A that you get, I will give you this many dollars. Now, I'm not just gonna give you this cash. I need an invoice, which means you need to learn. I'm not gonna tell you. You need to go out here and search out for the information. We keeps it real. Go out here and search for the information and learn how to build a invoice that says you said for A's you would give me such and such dollars, A minuses such and such dollars, B minus such and such dollars. Now, if you give me that invoice, young Quay, I will give you a gift card for that amount of money. If you want cash, I need a budget that tells me what you are gonna spend that money on. Is this unfair? Nah, this is how Uncle Tyler keeps it real. Ashley said, you taught him how to make an invoice? Nah, I didn't teach him how to make an invoice. I told him that he needs to use the resources around him, networking, to learn to get the knowledge of how to build an invoice. You know why? Because I want to teach him how to fish. I don't want to give him fish, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, as a grown-ass man in the year of our Lord 2020, I struggle with networking. You know why? Because Ashley said, as our words, bees are. I don't know what Ashley's talking about on Instagram on Instagram Live right now. The reason why I'm struggling right now, ladies and gentlemen, is because I wasn't forced to sit down and learn how to get comfortable with networking, learn how to get comfortable with resourcing, learn how to get comfortable with doing business things. And you ain't got to go to business college for all this, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. Teach these kids now, and that starts when they babies. Listen, if you don't like me getting in your kid's face and bullying them a little bit, not bullying them, it's hard love. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't with that, cool. Cool. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I check in with parents. Hey, do I need to back off a little homie? He can't handle it. He's too soft. That might be the case. But for me and mine, Quayle know he can catch his hands. Now he's like 13. He's finna be a freshman in high school. I'll be getting on the Instagram or on the Facebook chat with him. He got his shirt off, trying to show off his six pack and stuff. My bro, cave your chest in, little mans. You still haven't got me that invoice yet, Quay. So I'm calling you on it. And he tried to throw jokes the other day, saying I only got 2 views on my Facebook. Get out of here, son. Get out of here, y'all. Listen, keep it real with these kids. Keep it real with these kids. Keep it real with these kids. And when they get older, they will be able to keep it real with the people around them and with the environment around them. Then they won't have to rely on the government, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, y'all know I'm too hyped. My glasses are starting to fog up and stuff. And we'll be right back on Uncle Tyler in the Morning. All right, y'all, we are back on Uncle Tyler in the Morning. Listen, speaking of the kids, we're going to end it here. Listen, did you all hear that LeBron is coming out with the new Space Jam movie? What? I need them to have a good Space Jam song since we're not allowed to listen to I Believe I Can Fly anymore. Who do you all think? We're going to put this on. Excuse me. Who's going to do the new I Believe I Can Fly? Who you got? Who you think is going to be able to take that and reclaim it for the people? You know what I'm saying? Who got that one? Let me know in the comments at Uncle Tyler in the Morning on Instagram, at Uncle Tyler on Facebook, on our YouTube page. You'll see this in there. I'm excited about LeBron being the main character in this new Space Jam. It's going to be called Space Jam: A New Legacy. Who actually said your mom? See, that's why you messed up. My mom's gonna see this. Mama, you heard she talking crazy about you about Space Jam. She said you was the new R. Kelly. That's what she said. Which my mom got vocals. Listen, my mom been singing tenor in the choir, so she could come out with the new Space Jam, Ashley. For those of y'all on Facebook and on YouTube who don't know who Ashley is, that's my wife, and she always has jokes for my mother, who is a beautiful, wonderful woman. Yeah, feel bad, Ashley. Feel bad. I'm excited about this LeBron James Space Jam because who else could, the homie Tanner on IG Live said John Legend. Okay, I could see that one. Who else besides LeBron, though, could really fit that role? That's my question. If not LeBron, who? Could you see Steph Curry? Could you see, now, if I remember right, Jordan brought a lot of his friends from the NBA into the Space Jam world. So hopefully we're going to get a lot of good cameos when it comes to this Space Jam too. I'm excited. Space Jam: A New Legacy. Some people on the internet are saying that they're not for this. They're saying that you can't replace Michael Jordan in the original Space Jam. But I beg to differ, ladies and gentlemen. I beg to differ. Space Jam is definitely one of those things that you can improve upon, especially since Space Jam was ruined in some ways by the legacy of R. Kelly's funky ass. Now, I apologize for cussing if your children is watching this, and Uncle Tyler in the Morning is supposed to be an inspirational, good situation for your kids to watch and families to watch as they eat cereal, but I'm gonna keep it real. Y'all, we just got done talking about this. Uncle Tyler keeps it real on Uncle Tyler in the Morning. So I say that to say R. Kelly ruined Space Jam for a lot of us. I remember when R. Kelly was doing crazy stuff, and my dad, God rest his soul, said to me that the boys at the West End Boys School where he used to mentor were singing I Believe I Can Fly for their graduation, and I instantly said, Then I was at a barbecue a couple weeks ago. We were social distancing. And I remember at one point, this little boy was on a trampoline 6 feet away from me, and he was jumping up and down. He said, I believe I can't even sing it, and it hurts my heart. He started singing it, and I said to him, you better stop. The streets is watching, little boy. You listen. And he don't have an Uncle Tyler in his life. He has an Uncle Chris. And I said to his Uncle Chris, you need to get him. He don't know. He lives in North Idaho and he doesn't understand the impact of the song that he is singing. I didn't want him to get canceled on Black Twitter, even though he's an 8-year-old white kid in North Idaho who probably doesn't even have Twitter. I could just feel it that Black Twitter was watching him. That Twitter in general was watching him. And I said to myself at that moment, we have to, as a culture, we have to take back Space Jam and that song. And so to see that they come out with a new Space Jam, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. Now, the homie Tanner on Instagram Live said John Legend would be a good fill-in for R. Kelly. I agree. I'm trying to think of who else. Usher, maybe? I don't know. I could see it be, that's a good point, Tanner. I could definitely see it being John Legend. I don't know who else is out here singing. Tyrese? He would want to be in the movie though. Who else? Chris Brown? Nah. Chris Brown, he can ball though. I could see them doing like a little like Chris Brown, Drake, Offset, Quavo thing, and then LeBron bring all of those people into the Space Jam world, and that would be a way. See, you got to have that networking mind. We talked about this a little bit ago when we were talking about networking with these kids, and that's why I had my nephew Quaylen network to learn how to do an invoice, because you have to bring it all around, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to end it there today on Uncle Tyler in the Morning. As we say every day, go out there and love on people. Ooh, Ashley said Leon Bridges. I don't know if Leon Bridges has enough pizzazz though to do that type of movie. It has to be somebody who can really just like get you into that moment. Leon Bridges is cold-blooded, but I don't know if he's that type of cold-blooded. Listen, as we say every day here in Uncle Tyler in the Morning, go out there and love on somebody. Listen, y'all, I still have not donated to the food bank, so I need you all to help me remind me and keep me accountable of this. We gotta love on people out here, ladies and gentlemen. We just got our stimulus check, not to put our business out in the streets, and we're gonna use a piece of that stimulus check to give back to this community, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, maybe you're not in a position where you can do a whole lot, but you can knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, you good? You need anything? If you live around elderly people who don't really want to get out to the store, put on your mask and go next door and say, hey, Miss Jackson. I don't know why I said Miss Jackson. Hey, Miss Janice, do you need anything? I'm going to Fred Meyer to pick up my order. Do you need me to pick up your order as well? Come on, y'all. We gotta love on one another every day, all day. If you're not staying for morning prayer, we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend. Also, if you're on Facebook, tomorrow morning we might be doing an exclusive Saturday morning Uncle Tyler in the Morning. So watch out for that. Some ideas are going around. If you're not going to join us on Facebook tomorrow and you're not going to stay for morning prayer, have a good weekend. And we'll talk to you tomorrow right here on Uncle Tyler in the Morning.